Hello, Garrett here, come to give you the trigger warnings. Polar Nights is a psychological horror visual novel that shows descriptions of death, flashing imagery, loud ringing sounds, blood, and smoking. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sharif pinched the bridge of his muzzle in exasperation.
He's like, I'm tired of this bullshit. I
He's
already
like,
killed them. I'm gonna kill them again.
He's like, this is not going to work. Without skipping a beat, he leaned forward, gazing from face to face as if daring anyone to contradict him.
It's Stefan Goldberg, and my big bro is alive, and I'm going to bring him home.
Only the soft sounds of June stuck in the bar could be heard in the silence that followed, and even that halted when June realized the clinking was drawing everyone's attention. Everyone now turned to look at Tabby, who was still staring at Stefan. When she sensed all eyes on her, she immediately leaned back in her seat with a disinterested expression.
Yes, it's me, Tabby. Mom was the ship's doctor.
At this, she turned to glare at Gale.
And for the record, this was all Gail's idea.
Stop looking directly at the camera, Tabby.
I know what you are. And for the record, this was all Gail's idea. I don't want to be here, so the sooner this is over, the better.
Look between them could have killed. I suspect that Gale was regretting this introductions business.
Should I just give her a Filipino accent? No,
Sure.
I'm trying like everything. I don't think she has any accent. I think I just
I don't
go
think she does,
like-
because it said like unplaceable, like American.
unplaceable American.
So
California.
just kind of like take it
It's-
normal, you know.
Well, I'm Gail. Gail Waters. Mom was. Mom was.
She caught herself, returning the contemptuous look that Tabby gave her.
Is Dr. Emma Waters, as Tabby said, who is my sister, in case it wasn't obvious.
Two stared at each other down. Even Sharif glanced between the two, as though half expecting one of them to lunge for the other. Thankfully, the tigress cleared her throat, drawing everyone's attention.
Okay.
Alright, let's figure out this
The
woman's voice.
mug. Oh.
She wore a slightly smug expression, arms folded, her piercing eyes moving over each speaker in turn.
I'm Dana. Captain McGregor's was my father.
That's straight up Dana, by the
Dana.
way.
Diana. The Luna. Dana. Did you say Dana?
Yeah.
I'm Dana. Captain McGregor was my father. And assuming Sharif wasn't blowing smoke up our collective asses, we find the Iran. And
I feel like she's less soft-spoken.
I'm
Someone that soft-spoken
I'm-
doesn't say blowing smoke up our collective
I'm
asses.
assuming Sharif wasn't blowing smoke up our collective asses, and we find the Iran. I will prove he wasn't responsible for her Oh, she thinks he's responsible for the disappearance.
No, people think that he's
Oh.
responsible.
I will prove he wasn't responsible for her disappearance.
She shot Sharif a sharp look. Unfortunately for her, he looked utterly unmoved. In fact, he looked bored, if anything. That was when I noticed everyone had turned their gazes to me.
Whoa. Everyone's staring at you.
I felt my skin burn and my pulse quicken. I hate to be in the center of attention. Turned my face so my scarred eye was harder to see, as pointless as it was.
You're really hiding the scarred eye, but like everyone's
He's
just.
really trying.
I know, like some people are ashamed of their scars, but like, I feel like everyone at this table is just like, damn.
already knows about it.
They know what you are. They know who you are. They seen it.
Like I said, brother, it is there.
It is blatantly there.
I'm Garrett. Garrett Reed. Pleased to meet you. I cringed at the quavering in my voice. My older brother was Connor Reed, a mechanic. I saw Stefan and Gale shift uncomfortably. I realized I said was. Their sad expressions triggered a twinge of guilt, and I couldn't meet their eyes. Well, you see, we know that he's dead.
Yeah, we know he's dead
Like,
because we killed him.
truth was, that's what I believed. This is a search, not a rescue. Now, only Sharif remained. He stayed silent. His hands were stapled before him as he stared at nothing in particular.
Well, God.
That
Southern.
was Gale voice.
Gale. Well, nah, I'm not placing it.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna listen to a couple of female voices later after this. Well.
Very well. I am Professor Sharif Abdi. You may call me Sharif. As my letter explained, I provided most of the funding for this expedition.
Professor, what's your field?
Anthropology.
Anthropology.
As far as who I knew aboard, again, my letter made it clear.
Who was Rufus again? That was the.
I don't
That was
fucking
the
know.
Southern guy. Southern.
No, yeah, Rufus is other. Could you remind me? It was a while ago. Could have sworn I saw a flicker of emotion through his stony expression. Professor Hagen.
No way! You knew the guy in charge?
I will explain if you could be quiet for a moment. Look at his singular tooth.
I mean, like he's like, oh my god. I mean, if they put lines on it, it'll look weirder. I don't know.
It would look weird, yeah.
It would look weirder if there was like a line or like, yeah. It's fine. We're not focused on his mouth that
Yeah,
often.
it was just funny. Stefan looked like he wanted to say more, but a barrage of annoyed looks silenced him. Professor Hagen was my supervisor for my PhD. He was also a close friend. That is why I'm here. That is as much as I am willing to
To shit on the topic.
That is as much as I'm willing to say on the topic. Now, if we are all finished getting to know each other... He shot Gale a piercing look, making her shift uncomfortably in her seat. No one else looked interested in interrupting. I understand you all may be skeptical. Nearly 2 years' worth of concerted search efforts for nothing. We have all put a great deal of money into this expedition. I assure you, I have planned the most efficient search pattern that will make the best use of our available time.
How long will the search last then? Your letter didn't specify that.
2 weeks.
In those 2 weeks, 5 people will
Holy
die.
shit. So right now we have 2 days. If they're planning to make 14 days of this VN, it is early.
We are early into this VN. Also, yeah, this VN only has two technical days out. So this will be put on a hold, and we'll try to elongate the episodic things and on YouTube, but like this will be a long-term stream when it comes back up.
Yeah. We're basically just gonna be waiting for it to come back out.
Yep. So we'll most likely be doing another game when we reach the second day. Yes.
Tabby audibly groaned.
Great. A fortnight on this tub and we don't even get to sightsee. But the inquiry searched the area around the Iran's last radioed position. No trace was ever found.
True. Radio contact seemed normal at the time, but when you examine the GPS...
Wait a minute.
All eyes turned to Stefan, who had an intense look in his eye.
Hold it.
Okay, Phoenix, right?
Radio contact was not normal. They reported someone had been killed and their instruments were behaving strangely. This is the thing, isn't it? This feels like the thing.
Could be.
I remember the recordings for the inquiry. The captain mentioned the crew was having discipline issues. So what? We've been over this. Seems to me they get lost.
Iron visibly seethed at her insinuation, while Rufus put his hands on the table, barely containing his anger. My sister... Holy shit, I went to some sort of British... My sister would never have allowed anyone on the crew to endanger the ship. Not in a million years. There's no way Carrie would have gotten them lost. I guarantee it.
Mom mentioned something about...
Everyone started raising their voices at once, each protesting to the point where I couldn't make out what any one person was saying.
Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Meh, 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 meh.
Ooh. Enough.
God, look at all their scared faces. We're gonna see that later, but covered in blood.
I'm doing a scared face. That's so
Jesus
good.
Christ, look at her. Oh my, this is a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Jesus. Whoever the artist is, they did a really good job portraying
Really
fear.
good job.
Like, look at this. You can see it in their body language too.
Yeah.
Like, even like
Look
the
at,
hands out.
look at the raised finger from Dana.
Oh my God, Dana. Dana. It took me a moment for some odd reason.
So here's the thing: you can tell who of these 5 are definitely going to die, right?
Yeah.
Gale and Rufus are both absolutely going to die.
No. Damn.
Their fear position is blocking something.
Yeah, you're right. She's probably witnessed it. He's more shocked. This one, it looks like he's telling you to stop and listen.
He's like, whoa,
I
slow down there.
No, he's like, I hear something.
Who? Aaron in the middle?
Yeah.
And he's like, guys, I think I heard something.
God. It's horrifying.
Yeah, fucking.
This is like the preemptive horror. Like, we're not even on like day 2.
Stefan definitely watched it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what if we're the killers?
Oh. Shit. We gotta see everyone else's scared expression because we have haven't seen most of the other crew yet.
Yeah. His normally formal, quiet voice boomed out, startling everyone. He was stood, hands placed flat on the table as he stared down at us. We all felt silent. Even June, all the way over at the bar, frozen in the middle of placing a bottle on the shelf, seemingly afraid of clinking the glass.
I'm very curious what his fear, like, position is. Like, if he's this stern, it gotta be horrified. Like, even like super horrified. Like more.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my God, or insane, or like he was like an intuit fear type thing.
I am not here to relitigate the inquiry, and I don't care about blame. If you wish to repeat the same arguments of the last 2 years, do so on your own time and do not waste mine. Is that acceptable? Wasn't a question so much as a dare. His sapphire blue eyes scanned each of us in turn, as if challenging us to speak up. Even Rufus looked really uncomfortable under his unrelenting gaze. Splendid. And just like that, he sat back down, hands steepled once more as if nothing had happened. A few uncertain looks were exchanged across the table. As has been pointed out, the Iran's last radio report placed it on its planned route. However, he pulled a large roll of paper from the bag beside him and rolled it out over the table. It was a map of the Arctic region with Svalbard near the bottom left.
Oh, are we gonna see a map?
Please tell me we get to see a map.
Please.
Longyearbyen was marked with a black cross. Dotted line leading to the north, bringing it toward Greenland. I'd seen this so many times before.
And can we see it too?
Can we?
Oh my
Countless
God.
reconstructions, simulations, the path of the Erin's voyage. But there was a second, red dotted line, a series of red X marks, with one large blue X.
Please show it. Damn it.
I have good reason to believe that Professor Hagen may have used a different route. You'll exchange confused looks. Different how? How do you know? Because he left behind an itinerary for a second route for the expedition in case they hit multi-year ice. The Iran was rated for first-year ice.
What's the difference?
Which one's Aaron's
Rabbit.
Irish?
Irish, yeah.
First-year ice is the ice that's less than a year old. Multi-year ice is potentially several years old. Multi-year is thicker than first year, enough that ships need to be rated specifically for it. It can be harder than concrete.
More than enough to hole a hull.
You actually found that fun.
Did I really?
Yeah.
All right.
But you landed it. That was great.
I gotta listen to it again so I don't forget it.
The hull. It's
Hold the hull.
Yeah. Hagen understood that if the chosen route was untenable, they'd require an alternative. However, the second route was quickly irrelevant because an ice report suggested it would not be a problem.
I just realized what face I made when I said that. I look irritated. Rufus, Southern.
Wait, what? You're saying you found some note from Hagen saying, hey, you don't find us where we're supposed to be, try here. Are we supposed to believe that? Hagen left the itinerary with the University of Bjorken's Center for Climate Research as a routine.
The BBC.
Bjorken's is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, don't acronym this, guys. Don't acronym that.
The Bergensbjergen Center for Climate Research as a routine procedure when planning the expedition. But that alone wouldn't be enough. While their last radio report put them here, he tapped an X marked on the original official route close to Greenland.
Wish there was a fucking map visual. That would be great.
I know.
That would be so great.
Good.
What if we can find like no, we wouldn't be able to do it on our own.
Yeah.
Like
no.
it would have been weird.
There might be a shot of it later.
Maybe.
Several GPS signals placed them nowhere near the official route.
This still sounds shaky. The inquiry said the GPS was faulty. They could have been lost.
I'm not finished. The inquiry noted that while most GPS data placed them on the official route, several odd GPS signals placed the Aran hundreds of miles away from its supposed true position. These were assumed to be errors. But if you match those coordinates, his finger tapped the red X's on the map. We all peered closely at the red dotted line, and sure enough, the marks tracked almost perfectly along the new red path. I believe the Aran chose to use the second route for some reason. It might have been a last-minute change due to changing weather or ice.
Or it was a cover story? The first route was a trick. The second was the true course all along.
What the fuck are you talking about, Stefan? What does that mean?
I have a theory. A game
All
theory.
eyes glanced over to the possum. He had an intense look in his eyes as he stared at the chart. Sharif gave him a withering look. Please do not jump to conclusions.
You game theorist.
We don't know why their radio report differs from these GPS coordinates, or why these odd coordinates exist in the first place. Maybe they were lost. Aaron tutted and folded his arms. Or their equipment was faulty. Regardless, the fact these inexplicable coordinates match this second route perfectly is simply too much of a coincidence. You had this new information. Why not bring it to the authorities? Why get us to fund this trip? I did.
Ooh.
He hissed the words with a rip. Fucking what was that accent? Scottish.
Scottish.
He hissed the words with a ripple of anger beneath the otherwise cool exterior. The authorities did not feel it sufficient to organize a new search. This was my last option. Believe me, if I'd had the means to fund this that did not require expending so much of my own money or yours, I'd have taken it. The vast majority of the funds for this trip was hiring the sonar apparatus we would be using to search the seabed once we arrive at our search location. Your contributions helped with chartering this vessel. But I believe I've said enough. We will depart in an hour. If you are having second thoughts, now is the time. It will be approximately 3 days before we reach the first search area.
Wow, we're not even gonna see the first search area in these next few episodes.
It could be,
Ooh.
but it could skip around to
It
keywords.
could. But like the fact that they label it as day 1 and day 2.
Yeah. While you are free to make use of the ship's facilities and hospitality, please remember you are here for a reason. But for now, are there any more questions? There was a tense silence. Sharif scanned each of us with that piercing gaze. Very well. If you all don't mind, I need to discuss the journey with the captain. Who's the captain?
Ooh.
And with that, he rolled up the chart, scooped up his notebook, and strode up the stairs leading to the upper deck.
It's like the stories like these that make me not want to take like a cruise ship up to the Arctic
Yep.
or like anywhere up north.
Yeah.
Because the fear of getting locked in ice, stranded, and or dying on that ship is immense.
Terrifying.
It is immense. It outweighs the beauty of the nature of the area. Like, fuck.
For a while, no one moved, as we all seemed to be absorbed in our own thoughts. Everyone looked somber. Despite Sharif's explanation, I had so many questions, I didn't even know where to begin. Sharif finding this new itinerary was bringing up a lot of questions. As bizarre as Stefan's beliefs were, I couldn't help but agree with him that something felt very off.
Oh, he's definitely the killer. Or he paid someone. He paid someone. He paid a. He's Shere Khan. He paid a lion.
Shere Khan!
He paid someone to kill
He paid someone
Mufasa.
to kill Simba's dad.
I can't wait for Denny to put that up. I want to watch
Dude,
it.
that's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so good.
I hope we can all watch it together. That'd be
Honestly,
great.
look, he could definitely do a watch party because it's on Amazon. It's
sure.
on Amazon.
Yep.
My
Okay.
God.
We were shaken from our thoughts when Tabby finally pushed back from the table noisily and walked sullenly toward the lounge. Gale quickly followed.
Glad to see we're all friends now. Tabby.
Despite her snark, it did at least seem to drain some of the tension. Rufus stretched, loudly cracking his knuckles and popping his shoulders.
Why is a goat named Tabby?
I don't know.
Eh,
Why is a goat named fucking Gale?
true. But Tabby? That's a cat.
Well, came this far. I'm in.
Irish.
Same. If we find the Iran, at least I can know for sure.
We'll find it and we'll bring them home. You'll see. Oh,
They're all dead.
sweet summer child. Evening, guys. So I hate to bore you all, but I need to give you a safety brief before we do anything else. Legal requirement for your own safety. For your own safety, you get the gist.
Her expression hardened from her usual sunny disposition as she began to explain to us the safety procedures and survival information. She gave a well-rehearsed speech about the ship's muster points, procedure for emergencies, where to find the fire extinguishers.
But it is extremely important that you wear your personal flotation device in the event of emergency, and whenever you are instructed to do so by the crew. If you fall into the Arctic Ocean, cold shock can
You'll die.
kill in as little as 1 minute. If you find yourself in the water, you need to resist the urge to panic. Get your breathing under control and don't thrash about unnecessarily.
So that's gonna happen. at some
Most likely, yeah. And I think it's Mr. Fanfiction writer there. You will then have to roughly 10 minutes of useful movement to get yourself out of the water or in a stable situation where you're floating before hypothermia sets in.
This is gonna happen to us.
You gotta find a floating door and you could fit at least 2 people on it.
But you're only gonna let yourself be on it.
You bring someone with you. They can literally fit on a large door. After that, you have about an hour before you become unconscious. Provided you are wearing your PFD, you may have personal flotation device. That took me a minute. You may have about another hour before your heart stops from the cold. Every effort will be made to rescue you if you fall overboard. So you must remember these rules to maximize your chance of surviving if you end up in the water. Are we all clear?
Such dire warnings. All the tension of before came rushing back. I swallowed nervously and gave a nod. It hadn't really sunk in just how dangerous this voyage could be.
Again, we'll never take a cruise ship up north.
Yeah. Everyone else seemed to be equally discomforted, but everyone gave a nod or grunt of acknowledgement.
Good.
I love this chill music, dude.
Yeah, and it's such an emergency explanation and how dire it could be. You could die from this emergency. But yeah, chill like cabin lo-fi. It's great. Good. I'm sure you won't need this information, but it's important that you know. While I have your attention, here's your handbook. It contains all the safety information I just told you. A guide to the ship and its facilities, rules. You get the picture. Breakfast is served between 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. Lunch is 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. And dinner is between 4:30 to 6 p.m. Any questions or concerns? I'm your woman.
And just like that, her bright grin was back.
I'm starving. I hope they've got decent chow. Chef is currently preparing a late supper. please be patient?
Are we gonna meet Chef?
Yes! In the meantime, I can fix you folks a nightcap. Hey, yo. Let's fucking
Well,
go.
that has to be the best damn idea I've heard all day.
Damn straight.
Sounds like a plan.
No thanks. Although I wouldn't mind a snack. Haven't eaten since lunch. I'm pretty hungry too, so I'll wait for something to eat.
I'm gonna look up what the fucking nightcap is.
Oh, it's
That
just
sounds
it's
some
just
sort of. Is that like a drink?
no, it's just literally just drinking before you sleep. It's to help you
okay.
sleep, basically.
Ah.
Because you know how like when you drink, you feel
Yeah, you're
tired.
sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's basically what it is.
Soon moved behind the bars. Dana, Rufus, and Aaron took up seats on the bar stools. Gail and Tabby took a seat on the sofas where Joseph had been sitting. There was nowhere to be seen. Suppose being the bosun meant he'd be pretty busy. Stefan wandered over to the hatch that separated the bar area from the kitchen. Wasn't super tired right now, and having been told I had time to leave this ship before she departed, found myself seriously considering leaving.
Do it, please. You'll save yourself.
Is this our first option?
Maybe. It just appears
When I
you
thought
can
of-
leave.
Yeah, but I thought of how much money Mum poured into this trip. My mind was racing. Maybe chatting a bit would help me loosen up. I still knew almost nothing about Dana or Rufus, except who on the Aran they were related to. Aaron seemed a bit oblivious, and I could already tell he was a flirt.
Yeah,
Seemed to be a decent start, though. Decent sort, though. I can't fucking read.
it's all good.
Sensitive about his sister, too, clearly. Stefan was by the open hatch to the kitchen, watching the chef work. He was weirdo, but friendly enough. Plus, I was fascinated by his apparent rock-solid conviction that the Aran crew was alive.
Rock solid.
Then there was Gail and Tabby. Gail was lovely, but I couldn't wrap my head around her conviction, like Stefan, that the Aran crew were still alive. Tabby was a bit of a brat. Didn't much like her, but based on what she'd said, she'd been dragged onto this voyage by Gail, despite seemingly accepting their mother was almost certainly dead. I could empathize with that, at least a little bit, I suppose. Glanced at the clock. I had time to chat a bit, maybe get the others' opinions on Sharif's plan.
Ooh.
Oh, we get to choose!
Why is this?
All right.
This is grayed out. We can't click this.
Yeah, we can't go for a smoke.
We can't go for a smoke. So here's the question.
So I think we have to talk with at least one person and then go for a smoke happens, like shows up as
But
an option
here's the
afterwards.
question. Do you
Who
want
do we talk with?